Good morning YouTube, it's September 3rd, 2014 and I'm doing the Vlog Brothers YouTube tutorial thing. The video is to go on Google Suggestions and search what is the difference between and answer all of those questions from A to Z. So let's go. What is the difference between a crow and a raven? They're two completely different species. If there's like a group of them together and they sound really loud and annoying, that's probably a crow. If there's one of them on its own and it's so big you might have mistaken it for a cat, then that would be a raven. What is the difference between baking soda and baking powder? Baking soda is a chemical that produces CO2 gas when combined with something acidic, which makes baking goods all nice and fluffy. Baking powder is a mixture that contains both the acid and the baking soda, so all you have to do is add water. What is the difference between college and university? In the US, a college is a school that only teaches people after they've graduated secondary education. In the UK, college is the go-between between school and university, so you usually have to graduate college in order to get to that university. What is the difference between dinner and supper? Depends on who or where you are, but mostly nothing. What is the difference between English and British? A lot. England is a country inside Great Britain. If you're English, you're definitely British, but you can be British without being English. In fact, most of the countries inside Great Britain really hate the English, and if you call someone, let's say, Scottish English, then basically run for your life. What is the difference between fur and hair? Nothing. What is the difference between Hulu and Hulu Plus? Hulu Plus has more content, costs money and can be viewed on your mobile and TV. What is the difference between the iPhone 5S and the iPhone 5C? The iPhone 5S is technically nicer, it's got a much smoother operating system and stuff, but really none of them quite live up to the Nokia. How are jam and jelly different? Jam is jellied fruit pulp, jelly is jellied fruit juice, jam is way nicer in every single way. What is the difference between kun and san? They're both honorific suffixes to add someone's name to show respect in Japanese. San is used for equals, kun is usually used for younger people. What's the difference between LCD and LED? LCD is the kind of displaying technology, LED is the backlighting. What's the difference between me and you? About 5 bank accounts, 3 ounces and 2 vehicles. Until my death in Bangladesh, I suggest you hold your breath until there ain't none left. Yo, that's the difference. What is the difference between NAS and SAN? One is the other backwards, I just don't know which one. What's the difference between objective and subjective? Objective are statements based in fact, whereas subjective are statements based on opinion. What's the difference between prison and jail? Prison's where you go once you've been found guilty, jail's where you go once you've been arrested or detained. What's the difference between quick format and full format? Both will wipe the data from your hard drive, but only full format will completely rebuild the structures that your drive uses. What's the difference between Green Berets and Rangers? Any recruit can apply to be a Ranger, but only people that have been there 3 or more years can apply to be a Green Beret. Also, they must be able to speak 2 languages or more. What is the difference between Scotch and whiskey? Scotch is a type of whiskey from Scotland, but it's not from Britain. What's the difference between 2 and 2? Just the 1 letter. What is the difference between Uber and Lyft? I'll be honest, never heard of either of them. What's the difference between a visa and a green card? Green cards give you the right to permanently live and work in the US, whereas visas are only temporary. What's the difference between white and green asparagus? They're the same plant, but white asparagus is grown in conditions where it can't produce chlorophyll, which makes it 10 times nicer than green asparagus. What is the difference between x86 and x64? Never heard of either of them. What is the difference between green and yellow zucchini? Colours. What's the difference between zucchini and squash? Nothing, they are the exact same thing. So this project was quite fun to do. To see a load more other videos like this, just click on the links down below and they'll take you straight to them. So they are pretty well the exact same answers. Anyway, until next time, goodbye. I missed again, I can't do this outro anymore.